All right.
What's up? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We are live.
Welcome back to another Shit Talk Fridays. I'm Gina.
And I'm Evo. And we would like to thank you for joining us once again. Hope you had a fantastic week. Hope it was prosperous. Hope you killed it at work, made tons of money, and are ready for a wonderful weekend. And with that,
we're drinking gnarled vine, which is something that we drank several times in the past. But it's actually one of our favorites, so I figured, fuck it, why not get it? Got a couple bottles when I went to the liquor store, because it's actually a liquor store that's not close. It's not a liquor store. It's a wine store. Yeah. It's something that's not, like, immediately close to us, so I picked up a couple bottles. So cheers to Friday.
Cheers to Friday, and cheers to you guys.
I always feel like you start us off so proper, and then by the end of the night,
we're like, ah.
We know you, like, you're like, hope you had a great week. Hope everything was so beautiful for you. Now I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Are you sure that that's upright?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Okay.
We are good. We are live. So, tonight, we have, I would say that our overarching theme tonight is music. Because the majority of the things that we're going to be talking about are music related.
Yeah.
However, I just want to start off the top of the hour talking about none other than Ben Shapiro. And Melissa, welcome to the stream and cheers.
Cheers, Melissa.
Talking about Ben Shapiro. And the reason why I want to talk about Ben Shapiro is because he recently has reviewed the Justice League Snyder's Cut. And I personally watch Ben Shapiro because I try to listen to both sides of the spectrum. And he's considered a, more of like an alt-right conservative. He's not really my cup of tea when it comes to his political views. But I will say this. His review on the Snyder Cut was thoroughly entertaining, was it not?
Yes, it was. I actually enjoy a couple of Ben Shapiro's.
Yes, we have in the past.
But this was definitely not his typical review.
He even played a little bit on like a meme that is out in the world about him when he does like that funny face. But I really appreciated his review because there were things that he shared about his personal opinion on the Snyder's Cut that I really identified with. And he also pointed out things that I personally have never like really looked at it that way when it came to the Snyder's Cut. And one of the things that I want to say that he pointed out was what an amazing job Zack Snyder did of making the movie look actually like a graphic novel, aka also a comic. And he then showed a couple pictures from the movie and then said, look at them, look how if you were to freeze them, how much these things could actually look like straight out of a comic. And he was so right. And honestly, I had never looked at it like that
I didn't
before.
think about it like that either. And funny thing was, even when he was saying it, I was almost like, I was wondering what he was going to, like how he was going to back that up. Because I remember specifically watching the movie and not coming to me.
But sure.
Once he put those freeze frames in there and he showed it, I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Wow. That was like...
He definitely made me even further appreciate the movie, which is something that I never thought fucking Ben Shapiro would ever make me feel was more appreciation for something. Because generally, Ben Shapiro makes me hate everything that's coming out of his mouth.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to say 95% of the time, the stuff that Ben Shapiro talks about makes me dislike him. Not even dislike him, because it's not him. It's the way that he articulates certain things.
All right, there you go.
Because it's not him.
There you go. That's why I said, really?
I want to separate those two things, because as a person, he kind of doesn't bother me so much. And Frank, welcome to the stream. And then Frank says, "Oh, I see you guys switch seats to keep us on our toes. Y'all ain't slick.
Gotta keep you on your toes, Papa."
You know what's funny though is that these were our original seats, and the only reason why we went back to these seats was because we were testing the camera, and then I happened to be sitting in. I was just like, whatever, bro, just go live. I don't even fucking care. Does it even matter?
It really doesn't, but we just went back to our.
But I appreciate the fact that people are paying attention. That makes me pretty happy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that was like a really quick tidbit that I wanted to talk about because honestly, I was so surprised by that. Yeah. And you and I watched it together, and I just kept looking at you in like total awe, like, am I really enjoying this right now? Is this really happening right
Listen,
now?
it was cool to see him give his personal opinion about something that wasn't political.
And he looked and felt so human.
Yeah, and it was almost like there was a side of him that it seemed like he was enjoying it, but yet still very in like the square Ben Shapiro type of way. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, I'm not gonna go all the way out there.
Yeah.
So Frank says Ben Shapiro does work on his douchebag persona. He speaks in exaggerated tone. I'm mad that I can't see Evo's sneakers. Oh, we zoomed in a little bit.
Yeah, we brought the camera in a little bit, so it kind of cuts us off down at the bottom.
But hopefully next Friday we'll have we'll have a little bit of an upgrade. So we may
our camera angle might be slightly different.
Yeah, our camera angle might be slightly different.
That's yet to be determined.
We got some goodies on the way.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that really quick, so that we can get into our main topics for tonight. We're going to be talking about music, and we're going to be starting off the night talking about Lil Nas X.
Yeah, so just kind of just rolling right off the back on things that are just a little unusual.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just like, sometimes you say things and I'm like, man. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, listen. So, I'm sure you guys have either heard or seen or it's come across your feed this video on Lil Nas X. So,
now, it's possible that it hasn't because this video just came. It just came out. It's only been in circulation 24 hours.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. All right. So I retract that. Lil Nas X, more popularly known for his hit, Old Town Road. Right?
I wanna go to the Old Town Road. I wanna ride till I can't.
That song that was on the charts for weeks and weeks and weeks, and had kids all over the world dancing to that song.
Our daughter included.
This gentleman, Lil Nas X, has boldly gone where no man has gone before. Oh, man.
So, yeah, he came out with this new video called Call Me By Your Name.
Yes.
Which actually is a play on a movie that came out in 2017 called Call Me By Your Name. So, if you've seen that movie in 2017 that came out, Call Me By Your Name, that movie talks about somewhat of a attraction with a young man that is basically coming of age of his sexuality, and he's a young man that kind of like has a thing for like an exchange student that comes to stay with his family. And it's between two men. So just to give you a little idea of what this Lil Nas X video and song entails.
So I mean, let's just talk about it a little bit, right? So the video starts off, all right, and immediately Lil Nas X is letting you know that he's done hiding, right?
For sure.
I mean, it's the first thing that he just addresses right at the beginning of the video, and he starts off with a quote where it's him doing the voiceover, and it says, "In life, we hide the parts of ourselves we don't want the world to see. We lock them away. We tell them no. We banish them, but we don't. I'm sorry, but here we are. We don't. Welcome to Montero."
But here we don't.
But here we don't.
Yes, welcome to Montero.
Okay.
And then it's basically an introduction into the world that you're about to see in the new video that he has.
Right. And in the video, I mean, he lives basically unapologetically himself. Right? I mean, that's basically the gist of it when it starts off. And it starts off with him. He's in the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
Right? And he's getting seduced by a snake, right?
Which has a very strong biblical reference. He's in the Garden of Eden, then he gets seduced by a snake. And the snake, if you look at it, the snake looks male.
Yes.
It doesn't I mean, it's not really easy to tell whether if a snake is male or female, but the face.
Well,
Because if anything, it's his face.
It's his face. It's Lil Nas X as a snake
Seducing
him, Lil Nas X, and he's in there as a. I'm not really sure what he's in there as, the character that he's playing in the beginning.
Honestly, the way that it looks like it's portrayed to me, it just looks like he's kind of like a spirit, like a soul, rather.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, and I mean,
because he's like he's kind of like in an iridescent outfit,
right?
And from the movie Soul, the characters were iridescent. They were like hues of like white, blue, pink. You know, like like almost reflective, and I felt like that's what he was giving off.
Yeah, and then so he gets seduced by the snake, and then immediately after that, he gets taken into a Colosseum, a Roman Colosseum, where he gets brought up. In front of a bunch of people to be executed. Yeah. And I'm assuming it's for his sins, right? Yes. That he because he fell in love or got seduced by the snake. Yeah. Right. And after his trial or execution.
Not execution, because he didn't get executed.
Yeah, he got executed. Well, obviously he got executed because he turns into they show him going up to heaven.
Oh, yeah,
as an angel.
You're right.
Right? So then the next scene, they show him going up to heaven as an angel, and all of a sudden, the biggest stripper pole that you've ever seen in your life just comes out of nowhere, and he grabs onto the stripper pole and literally grinds his way all the way down into hell.
Yo, when you said the biggest stripper pole, I just imagine Cardi B throwing the stripper pole to him going, oh, God! She threw it to him.
I mean, oh my God. Like just the level of just creativity, I guess you want to call it, that goes into this video is.
It did remind me of another video from FKA Twigs. She has a video called Cellophane where she actually does something very similar on a stripper pole. It kind of gave me that strong likeness, but continue.
Yeah. So as he's grinding his way down the stripper pole, and I mean, he's like enjoying this ride all the way down this pole, all the way down to hell.
And at this point, he's basically in like a pair of like boot stilettos and a pair of like boxer shorts.
Right. So so when he lands down there, he lands in like these leather boot stilettos, these like little tight boxer briefs, and no shirts on. And my man literally no shirt on.
Yeah, you said no shirts.
No shirts on. No shirt on. And my man literally struts into hell.
Yeah. He's just like, I'm here.
Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, and not for nothing. I mean, he did, he was badass in this video.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with that. I think the visuals, I think he was really owning it. Yeah. But I think we actually have a clip of then what happens once he enters hell. That we want to share with you.
Well, wait, I'm not there
yet. Okay. We're not there yet.
Right. So once he gets into hell and he struts into hell, he enters the devil's chamber, where in the devil's chamber there's more Greek mythology words, right? And those words say something along the lines of, they condemn what they do not understand, right?
Was that on the tree or was that in hell?
No, that was in hell.
Okay.
Right? That was in hell. There was more Greek mythology. And then there's other stuff in there that I'm just going to let you guys, I'm not going to give it all away to you, because there's other like symbolisms and stuff in there that really kind of like touch on like the out there side.
It touches on the, you know what?
Yeah, I'm just going to call it out there so that people can.
No. It touches on the occult. It touches on the occult and more of the, I don't want to give it away, so I'd rather we just play the clip so that they can see what it is that we're talking about, and then we can discuss where those symbolisms come from.
So while he goes into this room, he walks into Satan's chamber. He goes in there, and he literally starts giving Satan a lap dance.
What? You shouldn't have said that.
It's playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like what we're showing it.
Oh.
Yeah, he literally starts giving Satan a lap dance, and as you can see here, I mean, Lil Nas X goes in. So
unfortunately, I'm sad that we couldn't play the audio because YouTube will come for a motherfucker. Yeah. I just want to read some comments really quick. So Frank says, I have to admit that Lil Nas X has impressed me. He is being fearless and pushing the boundaries as an artist. His early success has given him the ability to take risks. I was worried that he would be stuck to his cowboy imagery forever. And then Frank says, haha, you know that if Cardi is on the remix of that song, Gina should get her royalties for that idea.
For real.
Excuse me. The amount of things that we have said on this live that when I see them, I'm going to be dropping. Like, I have so many notes.
They will be getting a letter from our attorney.
Yeah, they will be getting a letter from our attorney that we don't have, being like, where the fuck is my coin? Yep. But yeah, so as you can see from that little snippet, Lil Nas X goes down to hell, and he basically says, I'm here to run shit. I'm here to do shit. Fight me.
Yeah. So after the lap dance, Lil Nas X straddles himself over the back of Satan's shoulders, cracks his neck, rips off his horns, puts his horns on top of his own head, and spreads black wings and becomes a dark angel.
Yeah. But
what?
So let's talk about So now let's talk a little bit about the symbolism behind that. A dark angel is what Satan is. Satan was a fallen angel.
Right.
He fell from heaven into hell. So he was a fallen angel. So essentially, is Lil Nas X basically saying that, like, that's who he is now? He is like a fallen angel?
Well, he basically was, because he went to heaven, and before he got up there, he fell down into hell. And then went over, took out Satan.
Yeah.
Actually, gave him a happy ending, basically.
Right, he gave him a lap dance.
He gave him a lap dance and then took his ass out.
So there is
he seduced him.
Yeah, he seduced Satan. So there are some things, there are some symbolisms that prior to the lap dance, that as Lil Nas X is walking into the chambers of Satan, that are shown in the video, that I know for certain that parents that at one time would let their kids listen to Lil Nas X, that shit is dead. There are symbols of Satanism. Or like Satanism. There are upside down pentacles.
Yeah.
And just the overall image of Satan as a whole, I think, is going to be not widely received by people who had maybe at one time listened to Lil Nas X. And so, of course, I took to Twitter, and it's already happening. And I thought it was really funny because Lil Nas X retweeted a tweet from a person on Facebook that was like, parents, be careful. Lil Nas X out here promoting demonic images. Don't let your children listen to his music. And then Lil Nas X was like, you know it's real when the black aunties are coming out talking about don't watch my shit because it's demonic.
Yo, listen, I know Billy Ray Cyrus picked up his phone and was like, delete.
I would disagree with that because Miley Cyrus is actually promoting.
But see, Miley's her own person. I just feel like Billy has... See, Miley, she accepts that type of lifestyle. I feel like that goes against Billy Ray Cyrus's image. Not to say that he's not cool with it or that he's against it or in any which way whatsoever.
That's an assumption.
No, I'm just saying, like, that's not part of his image.
Okay.
It's just not part of... I mean, he would have came out with it as part of his image at some point or another, expressing it. So just like on a public figure type of platform, I would say that doesn't go good. Like, for example, just on a side note, like Pharrell, right? You know how Pharrell, you know, in the beginning, his songs were very much about like party and sex and all this other stuff, and now he's changed over, and he's publicly spoken about, you know, being approached by artists to do certain songs, and him having to be like, hey, listen, like, you know, I'm like a father now, and I'm married, right? Like, I don't do that anymore. Like, so there's certain things that he keeps away from his image because it's just not who he is at the moment.
Okay.
So, you know, I think that kind of like, you know, Billy Ray Cyrus is kind of, you know, falls into that box.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. I mean,
yeah,
I can't say that it's factual. I'm just the fucking guy in a fucking in a basement with his wife talking shit. So.
Right. I'm not gonna agree or disagree with that because we don't really know what the hell Billy Ray Cyrus. But I think what you said, what you're saying, obviously makes sense. So. Along with the symbolism that was in this video, Frank actually kind of hit on it a little bit, but people are already talking about this video and Lil Nas X potential connection with the Illuminati.
Oh boy.
Because a lot of people talked about Lil Nas X being a one-hit wonder, and now he's obviously pulling out songs that are showing him as not a one-hit wonder, and now that he's showing symbolisms of of like satanic symbols and upside down pentagrams and the devil. A lot of people like to associate that with the Illuminati, so there's already Illuminati talks.
Listen, I don't know if Lil Nas X isn't a one-hit wonder, because I wouldn't call the song a hit. I mean, the video's a hit. I think the video is like next level. But unfortunately, I personally don't feel that the lyrics of the song complement the video. I don't feel like they go together. If you just watch the video with no lyrics, I imagine to myself a very dark type of lyrical video, some dark lyrical content that kind of goes with that video. Not what he's talking about. He's talking about in the video being like, in like tropical places, doing drugs with people, and like, and being with a guy, and like sex, and just in a way that it just doesn't seem fitting for me to the way the video was shot. So I don't think that, I personally, I could be totally wrong because the song just came out, but I don't think the song's a hit.
Okay, I would think that it's a little early to determine that.
It's just my opinion.
It's been out just about 24 hours. So Lil Nas X actually tweeted out something that I want to read. And he says, I wrote a song with our name in it. It's about a guy I met last summer. I know we promised to never come out publicly. I know we promised to never be that type of gay person. I know we promised to die with the secret, but this will open doors for many other queer people to simply exist. You see, this is very scary for me. People will be angry. They will say I'm pushing an agenda, but the truth is, I am the agenda to make people stay the fuck out of other people's lives and stop dictating who they should be. Sending you love from the future. So with that tweet, I feel like Lil Nas X is basically saying, this is who I am. I'm being unapologetic about it. I think that he wants to, from this video, I think he wants to encourage other people to embrace their sexuality that are in the music industry that maybe still may be hiding it somewhat.
Okay.
And say, listen, come out and do you the way you want to do you, because at the end of the day, people are going to accept you or not accept you no matter what.
Right, and I think the message is clear. And I think that the video itself, because of its shock factor, is going to get a lot of streams.
Agreed.
But I just feel like that the song itself, if you just take the video out and you listen to the song, like if you stream it on audio, I just don't think it's something that's going to catch wind.
Okay. Right. I'm not going to disagree with you or agree with you.
But how do you feel about the song? How do you feel about the song? It's as a song. Forget about the video, because literally all we've spoken about is the video. Note that all the stuff that we spoke about had really no lyrical content to it.
So I personally can't tell you if I think it's a hit or not, because I wasn't even a fan of Old Town Road. Like,
right, that was like catchy though.
Yeah, but I wasn't even a fan of that song. So I can't say, because it's a pop song. I don't necessarily identify with pop that much anymore, so I can't say whether or not I think this song is going to be a hit or not. If I identified more with pop, then maybe I could tell you. For example, Taylor Swift just won a Grammy for Album of the Year. I have not listened to one song on that album. I know nothing about pop music nowadays, so I can't tell you where I think this album is gonna go.
So here's what I see in this song. All right, I see Old Town Road as I'm gonna compare Old Town Road to a car, right?
Before you do that though, we actually have some memes that I think.
Wait, can I just finish before we go into that?
Okay, because I'm here for the memes.
Yeah, I'm gonna compare Old Town Road to a car, right?
To a car?
To a car. Just follow me for a second.
I'll follow you.
So a car, you buy a car, right? And if it's a nice car, many people will buy it, right? And you can resell that car and it'll sell over and over again because of its nostalgia and what the qualities about it. It's a great car, right? And it's okay.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah, it's made for everybody. Okay, but then you get a car and you customize it and you change a bunch of stuff about it and you make it very personal to you, who you are.
Okay.
Okay, and then you try to resell that car. How big is your audience?
You have made it significantly more narrow.
Right. So I feel that that's what Lil Nas X has done with his song. He's personalized it to himself. And so now he has to try to sell. This song has to sell. So how big of an audience does he have in comparison to Old Town Road? It's going to be smaller. He's condensed his audience.
I would agree with you on that.
Yes.
Because Old Town Road, I think, appealed to everybody and anybody. However, I think now he's appealing to a totally different audience that is huge.
It is, but his audience before was bigger.
Well, because his audience before was everybody. But I still feel like his audience now is still going to be significantly large. But we just don't know where this song is going to go.
All right.
However, I am here for the motherfucking memes, okay? And I'm going to say this. I got these memes from Lil Nas X's Twitter. Okay, so he himself is having a good time with these memes too. And I applaud this young man for having a good time and laughing at himself and what's out there in the world right now, because he's unbothered. And I'm all about that. When somebody's unbothered about people out there trying to troll them.
He's going with it.
Because you know why? That's how I feel. The amount of times I get trolled on social media, I'm for that shit. I just be like, oh, this person woke up today and chose violence.
But the ones that you found were good. It was really good.
Because he posted them. Lil Nas X posted. Wait, before we share the memes, I want to read some comments. So Frank says, "This is wild." He's referring to the the clip that we showed of Lil Nas X. It reminds me of when Satan was dating Saddam Hussein in the South Park movie. I've actually never seen that.
I did. I see that. That was funny, and that was definitely out there.
Okay. So Frank says, this is part of the stream where I remind you that the white van parked around the corner from your house is still there. Be careful what you say. Well, listen, we'll know. When I put it out to TikTok, if my video get 2 views, we know what's up. And then Frank says, Lil Nas X is trying too hard to break the image of his Old Town Road hit single. It's like when a Disney actor takes a role that is super sexual in order to be seen in a new way by their audience.
Right.
It seems as if Lil Nas X is trying to stretch out his 15 minutes of fame with symbolisms and the video's concept. It's like he wants to be infamous and just famous. And then Mr. Jones is saying, just mind your own business, everyone.
Well, Mr. Jones, this is Shit Talk Fridays, and our business is to talk shit. So we are doing exactly that, minding our business.
And by the way, Mr. Jones is our neighbor.
I know who Mr. Jones is.
You know what's funny was when people tell me that all the time to mind my business on TikTok, I'd be like, but my job is to mind other people's business.
Welcome to Shit Talk Fridays.
Right? And then Frank says, Evo's car example is spot on. What Lil Nas X did not Lil Nas did not calculate in his audience by default is little kids and pop radio. They might not follow him down the path with his new music. So, like I said, a bitch is here for the memes because I don't listen to Lil Nas X anyway, but we wanted to talk about him because this video was thoroughly entertaining.
And I think that this first meme perfectly depicts my example. What do you think? Right?
Okay.
You think so? Okay, so here we go, right? Here it is. Here it is. Here's the factory automobile and then the customized one right next to it.
Yo, and the fact that it's Patrick from SpongeBob. I love SpongeBob so much. Oh my God, yo.
It was great.
So, this is actually what is the next one that we have is what's going to be happening now with parents and Lil Nas X.
Yeah, so yeah, this is what you're gonna see when the parents find out about Lil Nas X's new song.
This is a song.
Get this shit out of here. Out of here. Out of here. Oh, man. Yeah, so I'm just like, I just feel like that I commend him for coming out the way that he did.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guts and a lot of a lot of vulnerability.
Agreed.
To do what this kid did.
Yes,
right?
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say something. I love the fact that we're calling young adults kids, because that just goes to show how old we are.
Well,
now.
I mean, listen, we're not.
But do you remember when you were a young adult and older people were calling you a kid and how much that fucking annoyed you?
Well, I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying? But you have to admire someone in his position giving zero fucks. I admire that.
Yeah. So Mr. Jones going, that's a good ass TV, man. And then Frank says, yo, fam, just know that some preacher is going to go ham preaching about Lil Nas X's new song in church, all hyped up to protest him. They're going to be like, he is speaking blasphemy.
Yo, let me tell you something.
He's got demonic images.
They are gonna
and we should not be letting our children listen to his music.
They're going to
He's talking about sodomy and gay relations.
Yep.
That is not welcome in our house.
You know what though? But you know what's funny? I honestly feel that because he's a man,
it's gonna be even more scrutinized.
It's gonna be even more scrutinized.
Oh, for sure.
Because here's the double standard again that we speak about all the time. Excuse me. If it was a woman,
yo, we both got that vid.
Yeah. If it was a woman that did the same video.
Well, basically, Cardi B just did that on the Grammys.
Yeah.
And they dragged her for that.
Yeah, they dragged her for that. But I just feel that it would be a little bit more accepted because of double standard that there is.
Okay.
But I still applaud Lil Nas X for boldly going where no man has gone before.
Where no man has gone before. We salute you.
Yeah. One small step for Lil Nas X, one giant step for the I don't even know what to call it. Just the whatever.
Spit it out, Evo.
I don't even know how to call it. Whatever he identifies himself with. I don't even know how to call something like that.
Well, he said he's opened the door for queer people.
Queer people. Yeah, giant leap for queer people.
Yes, 100%. And listen, I'm for it. Like, you and I talked about this. Evo asked me how would we feel about our children seeing this. And our two older children, I'm not care less about that. But you were obviously regarding it to our daughter, and I said, it's not Lil Nas X's responsibility to put out entertainment or content and be worried about people's small children watching it, because their parents should be have some sort of responsibility on what their children, what type of content their children are consuming. Even though we all know as young children, where there's a will, there's a way. However,
I guarantee you that link is getting sent
to
a lot of kids.
I can only speak for how we parent in our household, and that type of imagery is something that I will have an open discussion with our daughter about. Even though she's young, I'm not going to sit there and be like, that's blasphemy, because I don't believe that to be blasphemy, but there are households where that is viewed as blasphemy. Yeah. So I'm afraid.
Listen, I don't care what type of household you have. Your kid is going to do one of two things. Your kid's going to see that video, if they ever do see it, and they do see it without permission, it's one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to go ill, or they're going to go, wow.
Yeah.
And whatever it is, it exists inside them already. You know what I'm saying? So
that is 100% true.
There's nothing that you could do to prevent that.
Because Evo and I were talking about this earlier today, because we watched the Doja Cat video, and there was a scene in the video that I was like, wow, this reminds me of a scene from Flashdance. And I showed you the scene that I was talking about. And if you haven't seen Flashdance, spoiler alert, because the movie came out in 1983. And the scene of her dancing and her splashing the water on herself, I probably saw that movie when I was about 7, 8 years old. And I remember thinking, wow, I want to be her.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already embedded in you.
Yeah.
It just helps bring it out.
Yeah.
So what I did say to you is there are young children that watch this. Maybe it will help minimize the ignorance towards different how people identify differently sexually, or their sexual orientation. Maybe there won't be that that ignorance towards it, that prejudice towards it, because basically all that is not knowing. When you don't know about something, you potentially can be prejudiced towards it because you don't really understand it. And I think Lil Nas X, like he said, he's trying to open the door for people to see that a little bit better.
Yeah.
So, and then Frank says, Gina's spitting bars right now. It's not on Lil Nas X to worry about what children will think about his music. Nope. Be a parent on your own children. That is a perfect definition of what I was trying to say, because I think parents should have real conversations. I always find it funny when parents are really bothered by seeing maybe like gay love on TV or something like that, but they're willing to let their kids play Call of Duty when they're on there shooting and blowing people up and talking mad shit and talking about you bitch ass and all this other stuff. Boy,
I will skull fuck you.
Right? But they worried about two boys kissing or two girls kissing or whatever it is. Boy, I don't got time for that. So, moving on. Okay,
wait, why don't you wrap up these comments about this topic?
I already read all that.
Frank just came in one more.
I read that.
The last one that just came in.
Oh, woo! Evil is on one tonight. Whatever your kids think about Lil Nas X music, but wait, let me read that again. Woo! Evil is on one tonight. Whatever your kids think about not just Lil Nas X, but any artist is already them. Be a parent to your children and teach them to love unconditionally.
Well said, my brother. Well said.
100% true. I appreciate that. So moving on. I'll tell you right now, we're going to get dragged for that shit on TikTok.
That's what we're here for.
I know, right? We're here for the dragging. I'm here for the trolling. I love the trolling. The trolling be making my day. When I open my eyes to a troll comment, I be like, ooh, they chose to fuck with the wrong one today.
It's going to be a good day today.
It's going to be a good day. Yo, didn't I wake up today? Yo, I woke up today on another one. On another one. Evo was like, yo, what's wrong with you today?
Yeah, you definitely had an extra step going on this morning.
Yeah, I definitely did. So, something that also came to our attention more recently is, if you're not familiar with this, there's a new rapper on the scene. His name is CJ. He has this song, if you haven't heard it, it's called Whoopty. And he now recently came out with a remix that it is featuring, it's him, French Montana, and Rowdy Rebel. So, this image right here, can you actually minimize that just a little bit? Thanks. A little bit more. Right there, perfect. So, this image right here, the first thing I thought about when I saw this image and this video, the Whoopty remix, was...
God damn it.
It was perfect, right? How it was. This gave me Puffy vibes so hard because the fact that he's wearing a silver jacket with silver shoes, I just thought about Puffy in that little tunnel with Mace.
Oh! I didn't even realize it looks like the Silver Troll.
I
didn't make that connection.
Are you for real?
I'm dead ass.
That was the first thing that I thought about when I saw this.
Oh,
I thought about Mace and Puffy in that tunnel.
That I see, but the Silver Troll...
The Silver Troll?
I thought I could have sworn you just said that he reminds you of the troll. Remember the glitter troll, the one?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
You don't remember that guy?
Bro, you talking about the troll from the movie Troll?
Yes, the silver one.
That shoots fucking glitter out of his butt?
Yes.
Holy fuck,
that's him right there.
Yo, I cannot wait to talk about that later. Okay, so
all right.
The first thing I thought about when I saw this video was that I thought about Puffy and Mace, you know, when they were like, right? So I like the song Whoopty from CJ.
Yeah, it was a good track.
Yo, but like some info on this rapper CJ, he's from Staten Island, he's from Stapleton, Those are my stomping grounds. And I was happy to see another rapper coming up from the island because the only thing that I rep from Staten Island is Wu-Tang. Everything else is fucking in the trash. I don't rep nothing from that island. So it's finally nice to see another rapper coming from Staten Island that I'm appreciating him. So he came out with this remix, and I was like, yo, I'm with it. I press play, right?
Yeah.
So I press play on this remix, and I'm listening to it. CJ opens it up. You know, he's like, whoopty. Shot there, whoopty. You know, he does that little intro that he does. And then here comes French Montana. So French Montana, I'm gonna read you French Montana's lyrics on this remix. I'm gonna read you like the first his first 8 bars. I just need to pause this really quick because we got music playing and it's gonna fuck up my flow real quick. Okay, so if you don't this song goes the beat to Whoopty goes right?
Yeah.
Okay, right? So these are French Montana's lyrics. It goes, it's the remix, it's a movie. Show me the box like Boozy. She jump off the vert like Uzi. For what? Blue cheese. Hundreds, blue cheese. Hundreds. Model face like Carucci. Makeup like Jeezy and Gucci. Brr. I flow like Big with the cool G. Okay. Can you please tell me, from those bars, what the fuck is he talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay?
Nothing.
It's a remix like a movie. Okay, great. I understand that first line. That's how French Montana chooses to enter the remix. Show me the box like Boosie. Okay. But what does the second line have to do with the first line? So, this is my gripe with French Montana's verse. Is that he's basically, every line in his verse is about something different. He's not telling a story. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I don't know how the fuck that relates to Whoopty. She jumped off the vert like Uzi. Blue cheese. Okay, we know that blue cheese is a strain of weed. Hundreds, blue cheese. So hundreds is bands of hundreds of $100 bills, blue cheese. So are you trying to say that you have a lot of $100 bills and you blind a bunch of strains of blue cheese? Model face like Carucci. Okay, what does that line now have to do with that line?
He's just spitting up a bunch of random shit about, I guess, his life.
Makeup like Jeezy and Gucci. What? Okay, so he's trying to do a wordplay on like how a model face looks, but you're then gonna relate it to how Jeezy and Gucci made up. Flow like Big with Cool G.
I'm just as confused as you are. I can't. There's no rhyme or reason to that whole verse that he did, and I'm just gonna tell you right now, French, you need to get back to the drawing board, brother, because you didn't do it with this one.
And like,
this reminded me of the Fat Joe song that he just did.
Oh God!
On what's the guy's song? Who was the kid? Amorphous, right? We talked about this in one of our previous live stream. There was this kid Amorphous. He did this beautiful mashup and
with Luther Vandross,
and then Fat Joe got a hold of it. Oh, and God. Let me tell you something, man. It was a reach, all right, for something, I guess, of exposure or spotlight. And it seems like that French Montana on this song. Because I'm not going to lie, there's some French Montana tracks that I do like, all right? And I've enjoyed some of his music.
Yeah.
But on this song, he's reaching.
Okay. I feel like he's reaching because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Because the verse makes absolutely no sense. He's just spitting, he's just writing lines, and I get it. Because a lot of the times, rap is like that. They just saying whatever, and it sound cool, and it fits the beat. And Frank just told me that the way that I read those lyrics is like when Ben Shapiro read WAP. And unfortunately, Frank, we have to read lyrics like that because YouTube will come for a bitch if she puts the fucking song.
We would love to play the song for you.
God, I would love to play the fucking lyrics.
Well, Frank says that you said you're going to pull a hamstring trying to figure out what French Montana's lyrics are about.
And then Frank says, you know that silver jacket came from Mason's closet? Diddy probably gave it to him. And then Dr. Monk 1832 wants to know, sir, are you Italian?
I am not like straight Italian, but I do have a European in me. Not really sure where you're getting Italian from, or maybe it was something I said, but definitely not.
The funny joke is that I actually am Italian, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm actually like a quarter Italian. So Frank says, I think that you were going to pull off a hamstring trying to figure out what Frank, huh?
I just read that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I was probably, I'm probably still
You're
so
still
distraught.
stuck on French Montana's lyrics.
By the way, nobody can see it, but our cat Chloe is knocked the fuck out, right? You guys can't see this in the camera right now?
No, I can't
she is passed out sleeping here so hard right now.
Wait, you know what I could do? I think I could take a, why'd you wake her?
No,
I was going to take a picture of her and show her.
No, it's fine. But I just love how she's like, we're over here like talking all this shit, and she's like knocked the fuck out right now. So anyway, there were things just leave it. There are things I totally understand what French Montana is talking about. When he says like she jump off the vert like Uzi. First of all, I know who Uzi is. I know what Blue Cheese is. I know what Hunnits is. I know what Karuchi is.
Hunnits.
But the verse as a whole makes no sense.
I honestly feel like that he came up with a melody to the verse and then just started plugging in random words. That's what it really seems like what happened. Okay. My guess, I could be wrong. Who knows? I'm just a schmuck in the basement talking shit with my wife. But that's what I feel like happened with the song. So
Frank says, don't get me wrong, it's hilarious listening to you read those lyrics. Because honestly, Frank, I am not a rapper. So like, I don't know shit about shit. I don't know how to rap. I really wish I could just play you lyrics. So we about to go for round 2. Because I'm going to read to you Rowdy Rebel's lyrics.
Oh, God.
And Rowdy Rebel is actually... he's actually part of GS9, which is the label that, or the group that Bobby Smurda is created. Signed to Epic Records. Because I'll be honest, I wasn't 100% familiar with who Rowdy Rebel was. So I had to do a little bit of digging. And obviously, on this track, CJ is, reaching out to people from his boroughs. Because CJ's from Staten Island. And Rowdy Rebel is from Brooklyn. I don't know why he chose to pair up with French Montana that is not from the New York originally, but whatever. So here we go. Here's Rowdy Rebel's lyrics.
A song about it? Like to hear it? Here we go.
So he says, it should... I just can't even help myself. He goes, it's a schmovie because, like it's a whoopty, so like schmovie.
What the fuck is a schmovie anyway?
Schmovie. It's so like a schmovie would be like how people talk about shmoney. Like it's a hush movie. Like okay.
All right.
Salute me or shoot me. Bow bow bow. Don't let me skirt with your groupie in a 2C in a skirt. What? Pour your 4 in the Thule. I just want to know what...
Yeah, you look like you was about to throw up for a second. Like you just held like some throw up that just came up.
Pour up 4 in a Thule.
Pour up 4 in a Thule. What the fuck is a Thule?
Who he come now? Bust down, nigga icy. They don't like me, fight me. Pull up with his wifey. Come along, way from busting Nikes. Bust down, attack, precisely. Somebody please tell me what a Thule is.
I don't know what a Thule is.
And listen, Rowdy Rebel, don't come for a bitch because I know you roll with GS9. I ain't trying to get got. But what is a Thule?
I'm telling you, this literally sounds like they came up with a melody to this track and they just plugged in words. I can't tell you that it was anything more than that.
So Frank says Rowdy Rebel got to come home early from prison because Bobby would not turn on him. As a result, Bobby ended up doing 2 years extra.
Damn, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Smurda, that's that
dude right there.
He really took one for the team on that. So my whole gripe with this song is this. Okay? I'm a young MA fan. Okay?
That makes two of us.
Really?
I'm okay.
Here we
Listen,
go.
listen.
Okay, listen, because are you gonna try to redeem yourself right now on the live, Evo?
Okay, so you know what? Why don't you finish what you were gonna say, and then I will say what I want to say.
Okay, so I'm a Young M.A fan, and the reason why I speak about Young M.A is because Young M.A yesterday came out with a Whoopty remix on her own, and she called it the Uvi, and her remix is nothing but straight fire. Straight fire, her remix is. So, I was reading the comments in the Whoopty remix with French Montana and Roddy Rebel, and people are, talking about the video and the song. And this one person comments that CJ should have had Young M.A come on the track on the remix because her most recent release is fire and the collaboration would have been dope. I then commented on that and said, yo, for sure. I said, because these two ain't doing shit on this track. And here come all the French Montana's fucking goons and fans from Morocco talking about, you don't like this? Fuck you know about this. Meanwhile, like, why are you defending this man? Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, his verse was trash. And I then went back and said, if you think for 1 second that Young M.A wouldn't come on this track and eat both of these fools,
that would have been
you're wilding.
That would have been a snack for her. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, what's Morocco got over here as far as rappers in the United States? Mm-hmm. All they got is French. So like they're gonna come for you. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no doubt that was gonna happen. All right, so just let them get that.
Right? So Frank is saying the Thule is a gun, like a tool that you use for murder.
Okay.
So what are you pouring 4 up in the Thule? 4 clips? Pour up because Rowdy says pour up 4 in the Thule. I want to know what gun only takes 4 clips. Because to my knowledge, most guns, if they're a handgun, a minimum of 10.
It says pour up, like pour like a...
Pour up 4 in the Thule. Pour up 4, like, I don't know if does he mean pour into the Thule or does he mean like 4 people pulling up?
Well, see, if pull up 4.
No, it's not pull up.
That's what I'm saying. So he's not pulling up nothing. It's pouring up.
Yeah, pour up 4 in the Thule.
Maybe he's talking about pour up some drinks and then 4 in a Thule. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's just too confusing. Like, bro, like.
So, I'm not trying to make sense out of nonsense. Okay, so my whole point is that Young M.A's remix on this song was straight fire.
Yes.
And I'm a Young M.A fan. That being said, one of the things that I noticed in this video was when I saw this video and French Montana came on the scene, he looked like something and it reminded me of something. And for a minute, I couldn't remember what his face looked like. And then it hit me.
Oops.
This is, and tell me if I'm wrong, but I think when I look at this, when I saw this image, I
gotta bring this down too.
That's fine. This is what French Montana looked like to me. He looked like one of the grasshoppers from A Bug's Life. Because French, yo, I love some of your songs, but fam, the braids, they not doing it, bro.
First of all,
just keep your low cut.
I know those just got to be extensions.
No, that's his hair.
Where? Since when?
Okay.
When did French Montana grow hair?
I don't know.
Has he been gone for that long? Because I remember the last time I seen him out on anything, the motherfucker had a Caesar. When did this happen?
Yeah, he definitely should have just kept it at that. And then Frank is agreeing with me. He says, it still does not make sense. I just want you to know what a Thule was.
Thanks,
Frank, I appreciate you.
Thank you, Frank. We always appreciate you,
because
brother.
You know what? Honestly, I can't keep up with the slang because there are definitely some slangs that I'm not familiar with. But like what I can tell you is that I know handguns and I know guns and a minimum of 10 rounds. A minimum. 1 in the chamber. Come on, fam. So Frank says, I actually think that French stole Tiger's look. This is everybody's look.
Honestly, I feel like this is Young M.A's look.
No, hello, this is Travis Scott.
Travis
Tiger,
Scott.
Travis Scott, Chris Brown, everybody in the game right now. What's his name has this look too. Not Lil Uzi. What's the other one? Oh God. He just came out with a song too.
I mean, I definitely, I listen. I think Travis Scott really did
That
it
is
first.
Travis Scott's
Yeah.
hair. But I've also seen Chris Brown. You can remove that. I've also seen Chris Brown wear this hair. I've also seen Tiger wear this hair. But for me, when I see that type of hair, I think of Travis Scott, like instantly. That's the first thing that I think about. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you the other rapper right now that I know for certain has that hair.
Well, while you're looking that up, I mean, I think that this song "Uvi" that Young M.A dropped
Whew!
is definitely what we've been missing from Young M.A. Now, I came out a couple weeks ago and said that Young M.A fell off. All right, and I still stand by my statement, and I'll tell you why. All right, I felt that Young M.A went to a style that didn't really fit what she came out and that made her popular, right? And she kind of just switched over to something that it just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't doing it for me the way Young M.A did it for me when she first came out.
I love you, Evo, so much, but that was not your stance.
Listen, let me finish speaking.
Okay.
Okay. And so I felt that she fell off. She switched over to something else, and all the songs that she was releasing after that it just wasn't my style. And I actually stopped listening to her, right? And I always felt that I wanted the old Young M.A to come back, right? And here she is now doing it like she used to, and I'm telling you, this shit is fire. And but she, the funny thing is that she acknowledges that in this song, and in another song at the end when she was like, dudes talking about bring the old Young M.A back. She was saying I never left or whatever. She was like, but she did it just for that, right? So there's this track, and then there's another track that she came up with called Off the Yak that was released in February.
Whew.
That, let me tell you something, boy. The hairs on the back of my neck went like this. Oh, bro. If you haven't heard this song, do yourself a favor. If you like Young M.A, do yourself a favor. Go and listen to this track, Off the Yak and Uvi. Classic Young M.A. We needed that. We needed that from Young M.A. I needed that. I forget about what everybody else. I needed that just to redeem how I felt about her. All right. So
yeah. So let's go back on that a little bit. Your argument was that you felt like Young M.A should have got the number one spot over Paul Wall, and your argument was that we were talking about top 5 artists that popped
and fell off.
And you were saying that you felt like that Young M.A should have gotten the number 1 spot
over
off of Paul Wall.
Over Paul Wall.
And your argument wasn't that she wasn't relevant to you based on the current content that she had put out. You just felt like the music that she had put out wasn't as relevant. And I explained to you that you were wrong in saying that was because potentially it wasn't relevant to you did not mean that she was still not streaming hella streams.
Listen.
And still making herself well known. So that argument didn't stand because we were talking about artists that popped and fell off. She was still so relevant. She just wasn't relevant to you.
Excellent. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
My argument was not a single argument. And she validates it in both songs.
By saying that people wanted the old Young M.A?
Yes, because that meant I didn't stand alone. I felt that all the stuff that she was releasing, it just wasn't hot. It wasn't hot. All right, the shit. I mean, like it was. Don't get me wrong. It was good music. I'm not saying it was garbage.
Okay.
I'm just saying it wasn't hot fire like the shit she was spitting before. Okay. And that was my argument. And I'm sorry, you can disagree with what I said all you want, but the fact of the matter is that she acknowledges it in both of those songs, just goes to show you how real it was.
Her just acknowledging that people wanted an older style
Yes.
of her music does not mean that she fell off.
No.
Because
that was my opinion on why I felt that she fell off. Okay, I'm not saying that.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, what I'm not saying that because what I said she fell off. That is the end all tell all, and she fell off. That was just my opinion.
But you wanted her to be number one.
Yeah, that was my opinion.
Yeah. So
I have the right to feel that way.
Yeah. Okay. So what? Don't do that. Don't do that. So Frank says if French was gonna wear a weave, then for sure he couldn't let Young MA on his track. She would have flamed him in her verse. Yo, so let's move on to Young MA, right?
Yes.
So Young MA's verse, or Young MA's version of the remix of Whoopty, which she renamed Oovie.
Which we wish we could play for you.
God, I wish I could play for you. Yeah. So, I'm going to do my best to read you some lyrics from the first, how many bars? First 24 bars. Because honestly, Young MA's ability to rhyme to this song and her ability to tell a story makes me so happy that I needed to share this with you. So I'm gonna pause this real quick because that should have fucked me up. So Young MA. So she starts off by saying, "It's a Oovie. I keep the sticks like sushi. Bitch in the 2-seat. She boozy. She say, you gotta pay me for the coochie. I told her, nah, ma, nah. If you free, then you free. Yeah, I'm a dog, but I fuck on 2 feet. Soon as I come, then she leave. Get out of here. Keep them 2 guns. Me a girl. I call them moose wings. Pa. I just cop 2 rings. She like, what's on your neck? What's on your neck? I'm like, oh, that's a pool king. My mind ain't right. I know I got loose screws. That's why I keep. Oh, look, she says it here. That's why I keep my 2 Lee. Told niggas, ready or not, here I come. That's word to the Fugees. Sorry for the wait. When I drop this tape, I swear it's serving up the blue dream. Red life shit, but my bloody he crip. When he drip, you could see how the you could see, yo, this flow is so crazy. When he drip, you can see how that blue bleed. I ain't claiming that bitch. She a thought. Her shorty played with a few teams. I'm gonna stop right there. Can you see the difference in the lyrics in that? I'm sorry that I fucked that all up, but I'm going to just say this right now. Young MA's storytelling in that. She tells you a story from beginning to end, and it continues, okay? One of my favorite lines from this whole remix is, I'm smoking that Zaza, got the yak and the mata. I'm in Jamaica, speaking that patois. Big up to the Gaza. Like, she fucking murders that whole fucking song.
That's because she's back on her bully shit. Boom.
And one thing that I did not know.
That's what I love about MA.
Yo, one thing that I did not know. Oh, you love her now?
I said that's what I love about Young MA.
Okay, so listen. One day when we meet her, I'm gonna let her know that you wanted to give her the number 1
I'm
spot.
not the only. I'm telling you right now, she knew it. She knew it because people were coming at her like, "Yo, where is the old Young MA?" And obviously, it didn't go anywhere. She was just off. She said it. She was like, "People wanted to own me, and here I am, and they still not feeling the new me." Because there's a part of her, that a lyrical side of her that she's came out within a bunch of songs that people a lot of people weren't feeling.
Okay.
She addressed all these things. I'm part of those people. I wasn't feeling it.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling it. So, it is what it is.
Listen, you can remove the picture.
Oh, you know what? But about this picture, right? Mm-hmm. One thing I really liked about this video, and
I actually think
it might be insignificant, but I really appreciated it.
Okay.
It was in this scene right here where she's in the car with the gun, right? Mm-hmm. In the editing, they did this thing where they faded her face out for like 2 seconds, and when they did, all you could see was her diamonds, her chain, and her watch just cling, and then they came back. They just gave you a split second of it. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that shit was so dope because I've never seen that in videos ever before. And like I've got some experience in video editing. I've done video editing before, and I know like the work that it takes. And even when I watch videos, I kind of like know the editing things that they do to them and the tips and tricks that they do, and I've never seen this before, and I thought this shit was so dope.
Can I just tell you really quick before you get that off, that you can remove it. One thing that I can say that I love about the simplicity of Young M.A's videos is that something that you and I have touched on before. Evo and I are somewhat like, as hood life as I am, red life, right? As I am, I'm so earth conscious that when I see videos that I'm like, yo, they created this scene for this video. And being a person that works in TV and film, I know that a good 80% of the things that were created for that movie or that video or for that, they're gone. They're garbage. Her videos, Young M.A's videos, are so simplistic. There's no waste being made in those videos. Yeah. Like, it's just her in a scene being shot, and they're not creating this whole scenery that then has to be thrown in the garbage. And yo, I know that that's probably not her intent, but I appreciate Young M.A for that because she's not creating any waste.
Yeah, I respect that.
So I respect that. But I would just like to say that, like, Young M.A, I salute you because whether you on your new shit or your old shit, you killing shit. That's all I gotta say. She's killing shit. And CJ, I recommend that you reach out to Young M.A. You're from Staten Island. She's from Brooklyn. Cross the motherfucking bridge and do that fucking remix together because, yo, French Montana, no disrespect, Roddy Rebel, y'all ain't fucking doing it.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you.
Y'all ain't doing it.
I don't think CJ coughing up that check. Because
for Young M.A? Yo, she's trying to get that paper.
I guarantee you, yo, Young M.A, you gotta pay a heavy price.
Yeah. She's not playing.
She's not playing. Oh, you got some comments here that you might.
Okay, so Frank says Young M.A has a hardcore audience and she will cater to them with her bars and mic skills. She might not have radio appeal, but she will always have a crazy flow. Evil's right. For the attention and radio play that her first single got, she should have more music out here. She was white hot and cooled off very quickly and might never reach that height again. But she is going to drop when she wants and whatever sound she wants, and the freedom means more than streams and album sales. As an artist, once you hit some success, you want to try some new styles, but keep it true to her roots and still spits fire. I think everyone respects her for that. And Frank says Gina is a thug and an equal warrior. I love it. Yes, you are. Yo, I'm like, yo, real talk. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker ain't recycling. Yeah. Fuck is wrong with him? Like that's me. Like, I'm honestly like, I'm about saving the earth, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, I'm ready to gangbang.
You know what? So here's the dope thing about Young M.A is that this whole time she's never been signed. She's been independent. She's been independent this whole time, and I believe it's because no label wants her to cut her the deal that she's looking for. So that gives her the freedom, like Frank says, for her to do whatever she wants. And she immediately took a different lane and started coming out with different music, and and it was what it was,
Okay, so that wraps up our segment on the remix of Whoopty. I think CJ should reach out to Young M.A. I think they should cross the bridge. I think they should definitely do that. But, I said it here on Shit Talk Fridays. So that brings us to our top 5 for the night. It is actually 9 o'clock, a little past 9 o'clock. And the top 5 that we chose for tonight kind of falls in line with what we've been talking about.
A little bit.
It's a part of it's a part of the culture.
Yes, it is.
It's a part of my life. So I decided that why not do a top 5 on the top 5 hood meals. That's it. Top 5 hood meals. Say less.
And I think, Young M.A in one of her videos actually
talks about something I'm
she starts off the video with one of the
top 5.
One of the top 5.
Yeah, I know that because top 5 hood meals, and the reason why I decided to talk about this because if you're from the hood like I am, you know for sure that there are certain meals and there are certain foods that are that come from the hood, and you only know about it if you've ever been in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, or if you. So like, I feel like rappers that rap about the street life, they know about this type of shit. So that's why I chose to talk about this. And it honestly hits close to heart for me because I grew up in the hood and I grew up eating all of these. Except for one, because one of them is a little bit newer. I've had it, but it's not something that I grew up eating all the time. But it still is a hood meal. So let's get into it. I'm going to play this music. So, starting off with number 5, top 5 hood meals. The number 5 spot goes to chopped cheese. And
Chopped
the minute
cheese, boy.
Fucking chopped cheese. And the minute that I say chopped cheese, you know what I think about?
What?
I can't believe that you don't remember this. You don't remember the video of the little kid that he was just like, yo, on the first day of school, I come to school.
Yes.
I come to school with a chopped cheese.
Yes.
And a Gatorade. I'm like a fucking star.
And he's like, yo, let me get some your PC, bro. Your
PC, bro. He's like, don't come on me with that shit.
My nigga, you could die.
Yo, my nigga, you would die. Okay? So.
You know what? I'm actually saddened that I didn't get to experience the whole chopped cheese experience. Like I've had one.
Yes.
But I
literally have only had one chopped cheese.
I know that there's many versions of a chopped cheese that you can have, and I didn't experience them all. So
yeah. So the number 5 spot goes to chopped cheese or chopped cheese, but if you from the hood, if you from the streets, it's called the chopped cheese. And this type of hood meal is actually originated in NYC. So it's a sandwich that is originated in New York City, and you can only find this shit in a bodega. Okay, it's throughout Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens. Unfortunately, they did not mention Staten Island, but I do know that there are hoods in Staten Island that are serving up chopped cheese. Okay,
Staten Island, boy, you guys do. Y'all get shitted on the regular.
It's fine because you know what, I don't rep Staten Island. Yeah. But I'm from Staten Island, but I don't rep Staten Island.
What would Staten Island be if Wu-Tang never happened?
Bro, they would be absolutely nothing.
Just a dump.
Absolutely nothing.
Shit, I'm sorry.
No, but they would be the dumps because you know the dumps was on.
Yeah, it's dumps in Staten Island.
And before they covered it up, when you went to the mall, it smelled like fucking shit out there. Yeah, so the number 5 spot, top 5 hood meals goes to chopped cheese. And honestly, I've only had one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But when I think about a chopped cheese, I also kind of think about Philly cheesesteak. It kind of reminds me of like one and the same. And if you from Philly, in the hood in Philly, yo, you fucking with a Philly cheesesteak. But whatever. So, let's move on to number 4. Number 4. Top 5 hood meals. Number 4 spot goes to motherfucking ramen noodles.
Damn.
And you know what? I still eat ramen noodles.
Yeah, I was about to say we still stay eating ramen noodles, but we've upgraded that shit just a little bit.
Really?
What you mean, really?
Have we?
Yes.
Okay, why? Because we add ingredients.
Yes, of course. Back in the days when you had ramen noodles, that's all you had was ramen fucking noodles. Like right now, we'll put like kimchi in it. We'll put bok choy. We'll put sesame seeds in that. We do all the dressings with sriracha in there.
We like Salt Bae in that.
You have to put a Salt Bae in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We get bougie with it now.
Yeah, we get bougie with it. But back in the day when you grew up in the hood, you was getting that government cheese. You was putting it on the fucking ramen noodles. Yeah. And listen, if you had a couple dollars, you might put some hot dogs in that shit.
And here's something that I guarantee you. I mean, I don't know if people do it now, but I know we was doing it before. You was boiling the water in the ramen noodles, and then you was putting that shit in a bowl and eating that shit. All right. Now we boil separate water, right? And after we boil the noodles, we take it out and then put fresh water in the noodles.
Yeah.
Yo.
World
of difference.
Do not use the water that you bought the ramen noodles in.
As a kid, we were eating that same fucking water. That shit was going right from the pot with the noodles and everything in the bowl.
100%.
With the seasoning and everything. And
no shame in my game.
Nah, not at all. Zero.
Okay. Ramen noodles is where it's at. And, yo, it's a struggle food. It's a struggle food. At the end of the day, when you could buy 4 for $1, I'm fucking them shits up. Frank says Gina counts the napkins that you throw out, and when she sees you, she out in the street. So Frank says, Staten Island chopped cheese sounds fugazi as hell. That is worse than chopped cheese from Williamsburg.
Damn.
Yo, that's fucked up, Frank.
Yeah, I can't even get a chopped cheese.
I'm going to tell you why that's fucked up. Because I took Evo one time, or maybe more than once. I took him to a couple of areas in Staten Island that I used to hang out
There was
at.
only one spot that I regretted going to.
You were like, you were looking at me mad sus.
Yo.
You were like, yo, you sang.
Let me tell you something. I've been into a lot of shady neighborhoods. This is the first time that I reached over and I was like, I locked the fucking door. Yo, that shit was crazy.
Meanwhile, bitch used to walk through that shit eating crab sticks from the Chinese spot. Like, yo, what? What's good?
Hell no.
So Frank says kimchi, sesame seeds. Y'all living good. The water from ramen noodles is amazing as a kid,
and as an adult.
Oh, as an adult, it will send you to ICU. That's exactly what it will do. Yeah. You need to boil a separate pot in a tea kettle. Don't drink that shit.
I remember the first time that we boiled ramen and we took the ramen out and put it in a bowl, whatever, and we ate. And then we came back to the pot that we boiled the ramen in after it cooled. Bro, what the fuck was that shit?
That shit was schmegma.
Yo, that shit looked like, I can't even. And the fact that at that moment, that's when I realized that I fucked up.
Right?
That all my life, I've been eating that shit that comes off of ramen. Oh man.
Yo, a lot of people don't know, but ramen noodles are fried.
Are they?
Yeah, I
didn't know that.
You obviously didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're fried. Come on. Look, here. She's going to come and enter. Come on. Come on. Yay. Come and join the live tonight. You want to go up? Yes, so that was my number 4 spot. Let's move on. Or maybe she wants to go to you. Okay, so let's move on to my number 3 spot. Number 3 spot for top 5 hood meals. Number 3 goes to macaroni and cheese or mac and cheese with hot dogs.
Gotta be with the hot dogs.
Yo, and listen, it's those no frills hot dogs.
Yeah, and
it's those hot dogs that like when you cut them, they just look pink. You don't even know what type of meat that shit is, but you cut it.
Yeah, and it's not even the round like hot dogs. It's the square looking ones, right?
It's the ones that are flat.
Yeah, the ones that got the flat edges on them, right? And the pink ones, those joints. And with the and if you really want to get nasty, it's with the microwavable mac and cheese. Not even the box one that you cook.
Evo, tell them why you nasty.
Tell them why you nasty, son.
Listen to me. All I gotta say is this. I can't tell you how many times as a kid growing up, I took 2 hot dogs, rolled them in a paper towel, put them shits in the microwave, and made Kraft macaroni and cheese on the stove, and then took the hot dogs and threw them shits in the pot, and then ate it right out the fucking pot.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Right? Okay? And then the oil from the hot dogs would go into Kraft macaroni and cheese. Bitch. That shit was amazing.
I think at one point I was putting Spam in the macaroni and cheese.
Oh my
Remember that?
God. Don't talk to me about that. Do not talk to me about that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man.
If you have never had mac and cheese with hot dogs, you ain't living a good life.
No.
You don't know. No. You don't know.
You need to realign yourself.
Frank says Evo had the Thule on his lap as he drove through Gina's old hood. I feel you.
Yo, I wish I had one, bro. Because I felt like I needed one.
You put her in a coma right now.
This is why she loved me so much.
I know. You put her in a coma right now. Don't do that to her, yo. Because I'm gonna have to edit this live, and people will be like, "What are you doing
What
to
are you doing to
that
that
cat?"
cat? She loves that shit.
Okay, so here we go. That was number 3. Macaroni and cheese. Or it's not even macaroni and cheese. It's mac and cheese with hot dogs.
Yeah, it's mac and dog.
That's that struggle meal. Okay, and
Mac and cheese dog.
I'm gonna just tell you right now. Growing up, I felt privileged if I could do 2 hot dogs. Because
that shit gave it extra flavor.
Yeah, because honestly, real talk, I could potentially, there was only one in the refrigerator. Yeah. But if I could do 2, I was like, oh shit, we got 2 hot dogs?
Balls.
And let me tell you where that struggle meal came from. You know where that struggle meal came from? Because there was no bread.
Yeah.
There was no bread in the refrigerator.
Well, that's where struggle dogs come from.
Yeah. And no, there was not hot dog bread. There was no bread, period, in the house.
But I mean, you
just had hot dogs with no bread. And you were like, what am I going to do with these fucking hot dogs? And then you made macaroni and cheese and you were like, oh.
You ever ate a hot dog with no bread, though?
Of course.
Yeah, so... But that's what you do with a hot dog with no bread. You just eat the hot dog.
Fucking struggle meal.
Put some ketchup and mustard on that shit and just eat it just like that.
# struggle meal. All right, so let's move on to my number 2 spot. Number 2 spot. Top 5 hood meals. Number 2 spot goes to two piece in a biscuit. Okay? 2 piece in a biscuit, preferably coming from a chicken spot in the hood called Kennedy Fried Chicken.
At like 2 a.m. Or any time of the day. Fuck it.
Listen, let me tell you something. The amount of times I ate 2 piece in a biscuit.
I've had a 2 piece in a biscuit as early as 11 o'clock in the morning.
Really?
Yes.
I can't say that I've ever had.
Yes.
Because when you're from the hood, 11 o'clock in the morning is kind of early.
Well, I'm talking about like overnight.
Oh, you talking about you partying all night?
Overnight. Yeah, overnight. It was still 11 o'clock in the morning. I took it down with a 2 piece in a biscuit. You all right?
I'm just going to tell you, when you said that to me, the image that came into my mind, I remember one time that we was partying in Jersey City and we came out and there was a chicken spot down the street and you went in there and you got yourself a fish sandwich. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and I was like, Evil, you don't want to eat that fish sandwich. Evil was
yes,
like,
I do.
Evil was like, excuse me?
Yes, I do. You don't even know.
Evil was like, you gonna tell me I don't want this fish sandwich right now at 3 o'clock in the morning? Yes, the fuck. And I remember you being like, hey, yo, Bobby, put extra tartar sauce on that shit.
Extra tartar sauce. I was mad he ain't have the Italian cheeseburger.
Oh my god.
Yo, they used to have the Italian cheeseburgers on the sub, right?
Ugh.
You get the it was like a mystery cheeseburger. Like it wasn't even no burger. It was like that frozen patty meat, right? And then they put the French fries on it with the ketchup and the lettuce and all that cheese. Oh, and it was on a sub. Oh, kill that shit.
Listen, I have so many fond memories of 2 piece in a biscuit that if I still ate that shit to this day, I would still eat that shit to this day. Type shit. Okay? Because 2 piece in a biscuit slaps.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
And listen, not to stereotype, but I'm going to stereotype. And you know some dude behind the register named Habibi was serving you that shit.
Of course there was.
Because Habibi was my boy. And I'm going to tell you this. Habibi means my love in Arabic. And so when I used to walk in the store, and I'll never forget, one of the guys, his name was Habib, and he would be like, you know, when you call me Habibi, you're calling me your love.
Yeah.
And I used to be like, yo, for real? And he used to be like, so I take, he told me, he was like, yo, I take no offense to that.
Yeah.
Because you're telling me as a woman to a man that I'm your love.
But just to us, it just sounds like some like jerk shit.
It sounds like some slang shit.
Yeah.
But in actuality, I'm calling... As a woman to a man, I was calling that
He's
man
probably
my
like,
love.
yes, baby, call me whatever you want.
I was actually really good friends with an Arabic gentleman from my neighborhood, and his name was Habib.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So wait, Frank says shout out to the snack box from El Corpo in Washington Heights, the OG of the 2-piece chicken box. Yes, so the 2-piece in a biscuit, aka the snack box, because that's what you would call it too.
Yeah,
a snack box.
It's not what. Didn't I say that? No. I'm sorry. I meant to call it a snack box.
Yes, thank you, Frank.
But I will say this: is he saying that that's where it originated from?
No, he's calling it that. That's the OG spot for him.
Okay, so eating a 2-piece chicken box keeps you humble. I still pull up and destroy for the culture.
I love that.
I'm telling you right now, I would potentially still do that shit because right down the block, we got one of them Kennedy fried
do that
chickens
shit just to keep it alive.
But
I go there for the pumpkin pie.
No, it's not pumpkin. Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Shit, sorry.
Look at you. You sipping on some scissor.
I'm saucy right now.
Sipping on some scissor. Okay, so we are moving on to the number. Frank says Gina calling homie Habibi, and he hears.
Hey, Poppy.
And he hears her say, "Hi, Poppy." Yeah. Listen, I was a youngin'. I didn't know shit about shit. Okay, so here we go. Oh, we're actually close to the end of the live. Wow, I didn't even know that. Okay, we're gonna go to the number one spot for top 5 hood meals. Number 1 spot goes to chicken wings and fried rice from the Chinese spot.
As young MA started off one of her hit videos at the table with her homies and her homegirls, drinking Henny, eating wings and fried rice. Chinese food.
Chicken wings and fried rice from the chicken spot slaps till this day, kid. Like, you can't tell me no different. And listen,
I miss those dirty days.
Growing up, I didn't really dive into hot sauce growing up. But when I would see certain people order it, they would order it and ask for extra hot sauce. Now I know. Mm-hmm. Because if I was to eat...
I used to kill that shit.
Because if I was to eat chicken wings and fried rice right now, I would douse that shit in hot sauce.
And it would have to be Frank's.
I don't even know what I would put on it, but it would be fucking straight hot sauce.
That's all about the spice and flavor. Like, you don't want that just to be spicy. You want it to be spicy and flavorful.
You know what's so crazy to me is that we have a chicken spot right around the corner. And right next to that chicken spot, what's right next to that chicken spot?
The Chinese spot.
The Chinese spot?
Yeah, they're right next to each other.
Okay, so we don't live that far from the hood. And all this fucking chicken talking, I'm sitting here going, yo, I will fuck up some chicken wings.
Gina gonna be like, but is it organic?
I'm like, is it organic, free range?
Or is it just organic?
I was like, is it certified humane? Because if it's not, I can't fucking eat it, bro. Damn, bro. It's fucking with me. I would consume it if it was organic. I would potentially negate the free range. But if you're not doing organic, I can't.
You know they're not doing that shit. That shit is straight GMO. Fucking chicken walking around with a needle sticking out of his butt. Those type of chickens.
Oh man, don't say that.
You know that.
You already
know that. Come on, get out of here.
Oh man.
Yo, Frank says I will lick the grease off the styrofoam. That's how good it was. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's a good ass snack box right there.
Woo! The hot sauce and the barbecue sauce is the move. That's how you enjoy your 4 wings.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And then there was a technique too to like ripping the meat out, so you could just get the bone out and it'd be all meat. And you take that shit and you just dip it
that's your technique.
It was a technique. That was my technique. That shit was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit was a masterpiece.
People, you taking me for a ride tonight. The amount of times I almost spit out my liquids tonight because of you, I just can't take you right now. So Gina don't care about organic chicken. She cares about how many napkins the restaurant gives out and the waste. Listen, I can't tell you how many. Yo,
look at the rocks, right? You ever seen her stare at you like that? Yo, our cat is shooting us rocks right now, right? Because our door's closed upstairs. She can't get out. And she tried to go upstairs twice already. And like she'll go up there, she'll stay by the door, and then come back down the stairs and sit here and shoot. Yo, if she had laser beams that she could shoot at her eyes, we would be dead right now. Like we would.
I need to take a picture of her when she looks at me again. Yo, that shit was worth $100.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're actually at the end of the live right now. we had one more thing that I'm just going to mention really quick before we end the live that we had as like a side note. Hold on. I'm just going to take a picture real quick.
I think she just winked at me.
Okay. Okay, so honorable mention of top 5 hood meals was chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. And guess what? You getting it from the Chinese spot too. You're not getting it from nowhere else. Potentially you could get it from the Spanish spot.
Yeah, but if you was struggling and you was hungry,
you was getting it from the Chinese spot.
You can get a chicken noodle soup and a soda on the side.
From the Spanish spot. But to end the live, I've over the last couple of years, I've become familiar with this rapper called NF. I was familiarized with him through a song called. Wait, hang on one second. Damn. It's called The Search. The song is called The Search. And that was the first song that I've ever heard NF on. And in the video, it's basically him walking through like a landscape. And he's pushing a cart and he's holding these black balloons. That is something that NF has held true to him throughout his other videos. There's always this like aspect of black balloons. I wasn't really sure why he was carrying these black balloons. But I would implore you to now go and watch his newest song that he just came out with from his newest mixtape. And it's called Story. And it's from his Clouds mixtape. Mm-hmm. His lyrical delivery on this song is epic.
It's tough.
You will obviously see the likeness between him and Eminem. I'm for sure that he was inspired by Eminem. He's a white man. He's a rapper. Hello. But still, his lyrical content that is delivered for this song, The Story, is pretty epic. I 100% was entertained. I 100% was invested in the video and the song from beginning to end. I almost literally didn't even blink watching this. But one thing I want to say, and I'm going to end the live with this. I didn't understand his representation of the balloons until today. So NF comes from a pretty traumatizing childhood. His mother was a drug addict who died of an overdose. And at a certain point in his life, he was being abused by his mother's boyfriend. And after his mother's overdose, he then had to be raised by his somewhat estranged father. Mm-hmm. I believe the balloons to be in all of his videos because his first video was... The first video that I saw him in was called The Search. This new video that he has out is called The Story. He has a lot of videos that have like these very short titles. But the black balloons are something that's very prevalent throughout all of the videos. And I believe that the black balloons symbolize his sadness and his pain. And maybe even the essence of his depression that he's carrying with him throughout life.
Okay.
So the fact that he lost his mother young through a drug overdose, the fact that he was abused, the fact that he had an estranged father, I think the balloons symbolize his journey in life with his sadness and his depression that he's carrying with him.
I see that.
And I think in every video, he's carrying them throughout the videos because in each video, he's telling a new part of his life. Mm-hmm. Very similar to Eminem, because Eminem talks a lot about his drug-addicted mother and what he had to go through. But this, I believe, is like a little bit of a new era. Mm-hmm. And I'm more than certain that Eminem is very aware of this rapper, NF, but I would implore you to go and watch his newest video. It's called Story. I thoroughly enjoyed it. We watched it together. It's a great video. But that's it. That's all, folks. And we'll probably get copywritten for that shit too.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Nah, not for that. We didn't play nothing.
They gonna come for us.
They do. They always come for us.
Real quick, Gina. Oh wait, so.
Yeah, you read that already.
I read that already. I'm glad I read all the comments. I thank everyone who joined us tonight. We actually had a really good time tonight.
As always.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
you know what, though? Some nights, I be want to fight you. You be want to fight me
well,
at the end of
That's
the
the whole point of Drinks with a Splash of Controversy.
Yeah, right. we get at it, but like, it's all love.
Which I don't understand, honestly, in all reality. is that we just brought to you our lives on live stream. Because like this is what we do. We've been doing this before we live stream. We would literally do this over a glass of wine.
Yeah, for real.
Without even live streaming. So
yo, for real.
You know
for real.
So like,
and honestly, it would probably go deeper.
Yeah, it would.
I would probably nitpick at certain things.
Yeah, we have to remind ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, we have to refine it. We like, yo, we only have
we're
an hour
live
and a half.
streaming, yeah.
We can't go that hard. But listen, we appreciate everybody who joined us tonight. But until next Friday, and next Friday, like I said, we may have some new toys for you.
Yes, hopefully.
We're hoping to